What are the limits of judicial review power? Imagine a court saying a law is unconstitutional. That's judicial review in action. But even this powerful tool has boundaries that keep the government balanced and fair. Let's explore what those limits are. First, judicial review isn't explicitly written in the Constitution. It was established by the Supreme Court in the case of Marbury versus Madison. Since then, courts have used it to check laws and actions that might violate the Constitution. But the Constitution itself doesn't say courts can do this. It's a power that has grown through court decisions over time. Next, Congress controls which cases federal courts can hear. This is called jurisdiction. Congress can limit or even remove certain cases from court review, a process called jurisdiction stripping. For example, Congress could decide that some legislative or executive actions aren't reviewable. But this isn't unlimited. If Congress tried to block all judicial review, it would upset the balance of power and violate the idea that courts are a co-equal branch. Courts also have rules called justiciability doctrines. These rules prevent courts from hearing cases that aren't ready or don't involve real, specific issues. For example, a case must show a direct injury to someone involved, called standing. The issue must be ripe for decision, not just hypothetical. And the case can't be moot, meaning it's no longer relevant. These rules keep courts focused on real disputes, not abstract questions. The separation of powers is another big limit. Courts avoid interfering in political questions or decisions better suited for Congress or the president. For example, courts won't decide how to run elections or foreign policy. They stick to interpreting laws and the Constitution, not making policy. This keeps the branches working together without overstepping. Even if courts declare a law unconstitutional, they can't enforce their ruling directly. They depend on the executive branch to carry out their decisions. If the government refuses, the courts have limited options. Their power relies on respect for the rule of law and the legitimacy of their decisions. State courts also have the authority to review state laws for constitutionality. But when it comes to federal constitutional issues, the Supreme Court has the final say. This ensures a uniform interpretation across the country. Finally, some courts or proposals requiring a supermajority of justices to strike down laws. The Supreme Court usually needs only a simple majority now, but in the past, more than half the justices had to agree. These internal rules can influence how often laws are declared unconstitutional. Knowing your rights means understanding that judicial review is a vital tool for protecting the Constitution. But it's not unlimited. Jurisdictional limits, procedural rules, and political boundaries shape what courts can do. Recognizing these boundaries helps you see when courts can act and when other parts of government or society need to step in.